I'm here with Kristina McCoobery, who is a global president at INVNT. So thank you for joining me.
Of course.
Great to have a chat. So I just want to start off by sort of saying you've always positioned yourself more in the brand storytelling space,
Yes,
as opposed to events or experiential. And just wanted to understand why that distinction is important, and I guess what led to that.
Yeah, I think, we started the agency now almost 18 years ago. We knew we wanted to position ourselves differently. We were going up against, some very well-established agencies that did focus specifically on event production. So it was that, and also we saw a need in the marketplace to focus more on storytelling, the brand story itself, because, once attendees leave the room, we wanted to make sure they left with a story to tell. So we weren't there to just build what was in the room, but to build the lure, if you will, and the longevity of the story told there, because we really felt that that's what brands needed and wanted to really gain traction, with whether it be their consumers or stakeholders. So we knew most stories people want to retell. Most good stories people want to retell. And that's why we focused on that.
And that's what people remember, isn't it? People remember stories, and that's why they get passed down through the generations.
Exactly.
And do you think that's been a bigger evolution in the events and experiential industry, that people are now not seeing events as one moment, but they're seeing them as a moment within a much wider integrated sort of strategy?
Yes, there's an entire ecosystem, basically from the moment you hear about the event to how your arrival experience is, and what's happening in the keynote, how does that translate into, as a spider web out into the rest of the event. And I think attendees are much more savvy now too. How does that extend into the world of social media? How does that extend beyond the event once I leave? And I think attendees' expectations are higher as a result, and we need to meet that now and exceed it if we can.
Yeah, and INVNT's grown into a global business quite rapidly. You're known for having a sort of strong culture and identity, but how do you grow at that pace but then hold on to kind of, I guess, what made you special and different in the first place?
It's a great question. I think our culture is incredibly important to us. Our values as an agency are very important to us. And I think the reason we've been able to maintain it, evolve it, we don't have the same culture now that we had in 2008, of course. But I think one of the ways we do it is we're not siloed in our regions. We really do treat ourselves as one company, one culture. We have cross-pollination of teams. We call it chasing the sun. So we will basically, turn over a part of a project here in the US to our team in Singapore or Sydney. We'll wake up, all the changes are there. So we really do function as one team. And as a result, we have been able to really maintain the cultural relevance we have as an agency, while still, I think, making it bespoke to the region itself, which I do think can be challenging. So we don't just demand everybody do it the same way, but we really do embrace the other cultures and make sure that we all have each other's backs. And I think we see each other a lot too, which is super important. We all just gathered together in New York City. Every single region, came together, and I think that's a little of, it is what we do. So we need to make sure that we're taking our own medicine and coming together, which is amazing. And I think leadership of our organization travels to other regions frequently as well. So we know each other quite well, which I think is great. We're not just operating completely separate companies across the globe.
And I think that was really interesting, the point you made about culture evolving as well, that it's not going to be the same as where you were in 2008. And I think sometimes people can get so stuck on this is who we are, but you have to evolve, and culture has to evolve with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there are certain tenets of our culture, our brand ethos, our mantra is challenge everything. That's been there since day one. That's still very much a part of our culture now. But other things, so many other things have changed and needed to change. I think that sometimes can be harder for people that are part of the OG that have been with us for a really long time. But we encourage everybody to grow with us as an organization, embrace change, which we've, at the rapid pace we've grown, it's been really important for people to be able to embrace change as a very positive thing.
And obviously you've recently announced quite a big merger with Nth Degree, and that's quite a big, one of the biggest market announcements this year.
Thank you.
What made this the right move and the right fit for you at this point in time?
Yeah, I think we definitely knew we wanted to continue scaling. We've had some pretty significant hockey stick growth over the past couple of years. We wanted to continue scaling. We looked at many deals. We actively went to market. There was a lot of different potential deals on the table. We did ultimately decide with Nth Degree, backed by Shamrock Capital, primarily because by coming together, we are now, in our humble opinion, very unmatched in terms of the services we can now offer. Nth Degree brought everything to the table that INVNT did not have. There was also not any real client crossover either. So it seemed like a match made in heaven. Now we have all the additional capabilities that we would often outsource, and we're all now part of one family. And I think clients are asking for that. They want it. They want that single point of contact. They want that one agency that can turnkey everything. So instead of outsourcing whatever that might be, if it's general contracting or event management or sponsorship sales, we now have that and our clients are responding with an enormous amount of excitement. So, which is obviously music to our ears. Yeah.
So what are you most excited about this next chapter?
Wow. I think the potential to continue to grow, offer our clients a more robust, full service, offering. And honestly, I think I'm really incredibly excited about the other leaders that I'm now able to collaborate with, in addition to the leaders, obviously, at INVNT, and the career opportunities that are there for everyone on our team. The growth that's coming as a result of the merger is frankly a really big career opportunity for all the rock stars on both sides of the fence. So I'm excited to see how everyone's career is going to grow as well.
And remind me how you're doing the branding. INVNT's going to be the core event and experiential brand.
Yes.
Is that right?
So the INVNT brand will stay, which as a co-founder, I'm obviously quite happy about. And Nth Degree Events is going to merge into INVNT. We've started that already. We're already working on projects together. We started that even pre-close, so the writing was already on the wall, and then we're part of the overall Nth Degree Holding family.
Yes.
So,
and they've got another big division as well.
They do. They have a whole general contracting and IND, and yeah. So it really is we're part of a much larger organization, obviously, and I'm excited to see INVNT take the next step in becoming what I see as an incredible powerhouse in the industry.
Exciting. And what do you see as the biggest opportunities and challenges facing the sort of brand experience sector right now?
The biggest challenge, I suppose I could give the classic answer of, how do we incorporate AI? We've made the decision to go ahead and hire a chief AI officer at INVNT. So we're building our own, platform, we're building our own engine. We're using it internally as well as adding value to our clients. But I think for me, the biggest challenge in the incredible growth we're seeing in the industry is talent retention and making sure that our talent continues to feel valued, well compensated, well taken care of, with massive growth opportunities, really unmatched career trajectory. That to me is something that keeps me up at night a little bit, because I think we have the best people in the industry that are on our team, and I want to keep it that way.
And how do you bring them along, I guess, on the journey? Because with a merger, like, communication is so important, isn't it? Because ultimately people are afraid of change. They wonder, how's that going to impact my job? What does it mean for me? How do you kind of, I guess, reassure your teams and your superstars that it's the right move?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I would say we, as a leadership team, we addressed it and approached it in the same way we did during COVID, which is with as much transparency as possible. There's not a question we're not okay to answer. We are very available as leaders, very accessible. I think the way we approach that is, again, with transparency. It was talked about earlier today, just about how some agencies, when they go to market, it's a super hush-hush, and you got to keep everything very top secret. And as leaders, we've been talking to our team, in our entire global team, for quite some time now, that we were looking for investment to continue to grow. So I don't think anyone on our team was at all surprised. I think they're excited that we have, put some gas in the tank and ready to go faster and bigger.
How has the way audiences interact with brands changed, and what does that mean for the kind of experiences that you now need to help your clients create for them?
Well, I think it's the bar continues to rise, right? We'll read about something where there was an event that maybe a competitor did, and we're like, oh, that was, how smart was that? Because you saw the brand loyalty that might have been generated from this. We're constantly challenging ourselves to continue to meet that bar, raise it ourselves. I think at the crux of it, it has to be memorable. It has to be on brand, on point, on message, and really there has to be a reason people are coming together, not just networking, but something needs to happen when you bring them together where the brand, our clients, really can see that the value of their investment is paying off, not just in the experience itself, as I said earlier, but what happens when they walk out the door. How does the brand loyalty increase? How does the engagement increase? How does the interaction with the press better that product? Whatever the audience and the stakeholder might be, it is our job to, I think, stretch that out. You know, meet those people in the moment when they're in the room, but it's got to have legs.